I want to say thank you for coming. Just so you know, we started this group about a year ago. I'm sorry that I can't talk there. I was in the hospital for 3 months, and I'm now recovering from a disease that hit me. But I'm in the world, so now I can talk and I can walk. So I'm doing a lot better. But I just want to, first of all, thank you guys for coming. And the goal of this group is for all of us to get to know each other, and hopefully, as we get to know each other, help each other succeed. Okay? And that could be in the real estate investment side, partnering, it could be wholesaling, whatever it is, there's always an opportunity to meet somebody and to make something happen. And I'm a pretty active individual. I like to think so. And I'll share my experience with you guys in real estate. Through meetups and through meeting people, I have been able to do 3 deals already. And I've only started networking about a year and a half. Okay? So I know that through networking, we get to know each other better, and then we're able to make those deals happen. And trust me, deals all of a sudden appear when people know that you're serious and that you show up. And I already know, because I've attended enough events, to see the people that are actually doing the actual real estate investments, right? And if you're new, I want to welcome you. I'm going to take this opportunity first to pass the microphone around and tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe what kind of deals you're working on, maybe what you have coming up, or if you're new, what you want to do or what you're looking for. Okay? And I'll start by telling you what I'm up to. Right now, I have 5 listings that are happening on the market. We have 2 flips that we did ourselves. I have more coming up probably in a couple months. And I have some regular sales if you know somebody that's looking to buy. But on the investment side, I've successfully done 3 flips, okay? So that's where I'm at. I'm very new. I don't know everything. I want to learn more. So I'll pass the mic around. And by the way, this is for the online, okay? I know we can't hear anything here, but online they can hear us.
Hi everyone.
Go ahead and stand up.
Okay. Hi everyone, this is Pank. I recently moved from Canada a couple of years back, and I'm an investor. I'm looking to invest in a few months, and just wanted to understand more about hard money lending.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is my first time coming to this meetup. My name is Aurora. I'm an investor as well as a real estate broker. I buy properties, I fix them up, and I'm a buy and hold type of person. So looking for the LA County. Okay, so maybe we can do some business together. That would be nice. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anastasia. I'm a real estate photographer. I help agents and investors with photos for their listings and websites. And I also do photos for Airbnb and professional headshots. And I have a drone for anyone who is interested in that service.
Hi, my name is Mary. I'm a nurse and I'm a realtor, and I invest in long term. I've been coming here for a couple times already. I met Leo at Newport Beach, one of the investor meetups there, and yeah. So I hope I get to meet you guys all and work with you guys one of these days. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Linus, and I just moved back from Singapore last year. I was living overseas for more than 10 years and just bought my first property stateside earlier this year. So looking to continue to build things up. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Carlos, and I'm a mortgage lender, and I'm here to learn more about hard money and learn to grow with other people as well, and maybe look at investment properties for the future.
Hi, Leo. Welcome back. We missed you. My name is Ro, and I just got into a mentorship for Airbnb, arbitrage, and e-commerce.
Hi guys, my name is Albert, small multifamily investor, currently in 61 units. I buy, rehab, fix, I hold everything. And I'm also a real estate lender, so we help plan out real estate lenders' mortgage and how to acquire and build their portfolio. So we have some insight since we do it every single day. So thank you.
My name is Raul Gonzalez. I'm a loan officer. I'm from Riverside. I also have a multi-unit property, looking to continue to invest. Yep.
Hi, my name is Guy. I'm a investor, buy and hold investor, and it's my first time here. Looking to acquire some knowledge.
My name's Matt, and hard money lending is new to me though, and I'm looking for my first deals in Southern California before I go out of state.
My name is Vanessa. I'm a real estate agent in Orange County, and I'm here to learn more.
Hey everyone, I'm Jeffrey. I'm new to real estate investing, but my target market is actually out of state. So I'm looking to invest specifically in the state of Indiana. Buy boxes are super low, a lot of opportunities out there. So if you want to do any out of state real estate investing, hit me up.
Hi, my name is Tamerlan. I'm from Kyrgyzstan. I recently arrived here. I was doing like general construction. I'm also an investor, looking for opportunities.
Hi everybody, my name is Edmund. I'm electric components engineer, and I also interested about real estate investment, so that's why I come here. Thank you.
Hey everybody, my name is Jimmy. I'm a general contractor, so we do home renovations of all sorts. I'm looking at becoming a real estate investor and getting my real estate license. I'm interested in out-of-state investing as well, so thank you.
My name is Jonathan. I'm local to the area. I'm mostly looking for deals off market, Orange County. The more big up the property is, the better. Looking to learn about hard money.
Hi guys. So speaker for today couldn't make it, Nick, but they sent somebody better. So now we have Anthony. And just to tell you guys a little bit about Easy Street, they funded my first deal, right? So I like to support people that help me out as well. My first deal, I literally got it under contract. I had no idea what I was doing, honestly. The guy signed the paper, and I was so surprised he even signed it. And then I said, what do I do, right? So I called my mentor, Joe, and Joe said, well, find the money now. Now you have to get it done. So, we brought $100,000 to the table, and then the rest of it, Easy Street helped me with it. And I reached out to 3 hard money lenders, and for me, they were the experts, okay? When Nick was recommended to me, he knew every step of the way, and he made it really easy to get into the loan and then also to get out of it. And they are a wealth of knowledge. So without further ado, let's have a round of applause to Anthony Veros.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you, Leo, once again for having us. We are Easy Street Capital. We're probably one of the biggest direct hard money lenders in the nation. And we do lend across the nation except the states of Nevada, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Florida. As of today, we were actually able to open an office out in Arizona. So that was announced today. So if you guys have any deals in Arizona, we're willing to fund those as well. And thank you, Leo, once again for breaking the ice. Just makes everything a lot more easier. A little bit about myself. I started in real estate ever since high school, since 2019. Been in the business for 3.5, 4 years. And I did traditional lending as well, government loans, FHA, conventional VA, did a few DSCR loans, did wholesaling too. So I have that real estate experience with real estate investors as well. Got into hard money, just intrigued just how fast, easy it is in terms of financing hard money loans to real estate investors. So without further ado, so raise your hand if you're a real estate investor and currently, so perfect. And who do you guys currently use? Other than you, I know you use Easy Street.
Private money.
Private money, okay. Anybody else? No Civic, right? They just went out of business. They're no longer lending because their 90% LTVs didn't work out. All right. So again, my name is Anthony Riveros. How to choose the right lender? Just call me up and I'll make sure to fund your loan. Phone number 949-396-1217. You guys could also email me at anthony@easystreetcap.com. And yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna go over 4 main factors throughout this presentation. And before I start, any questions you guys have, just raise your hand. Feel free to interrupt me, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. So first thing is the approval. And this approval, I'm gonna present how fast and easy it is for us to know whether or not we're gonna be able to work together. Our ultimate value is the speed and accessibility that you guys have to us. We're not 9 to 5s like Civic or Kiavi. Once you give us a call, we're going to be able to answer the phone, answer any questions you have, and we're going to be able to tell you whether or not we can fund your loan under 5 minutes. Number 2 is the closing process. Again, I'm going to explain how streamlined our closing process is, since we are direct lenders, not brokers, meaning that everything is in-house. So any situations we have, within a deal that's in escrow, all I have to do is knock on the door, talk to the underwriter, solve the challenge, give you a call, and we wrap things up. It's very streamlined. Number 3 is our hard money lending programs. We have 3 programs that we offer. It's an easy fix, our fix and flip loans, easy rents, which is our loans for short-term and long-term rentals, and construction loans for ground-up constructions. Last but not least, misconceptions from borrowers. We typically don't get this because we're pretty good at what we do. But I'll show you guys probably the most common ones we usually get, although it's kind of rare. So what borrowers ask? The very first thing when I answer the phone, the very first thing an investor asks is, what are your interest rates and what do you charge, right? So a simple answer is the rates could range between 9.9% up to 11.25%. Again, it might be pretty expensive, I understand, but we all have, as knowledgeable real estate investors, agents, and upcoming real estate investors, we have to understand that good and fast isn't cheap, right? And we only have 2 fees. Our origination points plus a doc fee of $14.95. Title and escrow fees, that's about 2 to 3%, but that varies. That's out of our control, right? But again, our only fees is origination points that could be about 1 to 2%, and our doc fee of $14.95. In terms of origination fees, if you're new with us, we'll probably 1.75. But as you do more deals with us, and as we get more comfortable that you guys are successfully flipping your deals, we might be able to do 1.5, 1.25, maybe even 1 point. If we're both producing together. You have to trust the process. Again, the more deals you do with Easy Street, the better terms you will get. And in terms of experience, you don't need to use us, right? But let's just say you have 5 deals you closed cash, right? As long as you could provide us with a successful track record, we'll be able to consider you as a tier 1 investor if you have 5+ flips, even though if it's cash. We just want a successful track record that you're successfully buying, purchasing, and then flipping the house. And again, the more flipping experience, the better pricing and terms you get. Any questions?
interest only, or?
Yeah, I'll get back to that. That's a good question. So here are the five main factors. Again, I like to save you guys your time just like I like saving my time. I try to solve the solution and also tell you whether or not we could fund the deal under 10 minutes. So the five main factors that we look into, these are going to be the five main questions I'm going to ask you. Exit strategy. Are you looking to buy, fix, sell? Or are you looking to buy, fix, and rent? And will it be delivered vacant? The reason why owner occupancy is very important is because there's times when you get a deal, it's going to be delivered vacant, no worries, it's very streamlined. However, if it's going to be tenant occupied, you got to have kind of experience with that, whether it's through cash for keys or through it's through cash for keys or eviction process. As long as you could provide us documentation that you have that experience, maybe we could give you max leverage of 85, where we do 85% of the purchase and cover 85% of the rehab. So you could come in as little as 15% down. Estimated FICO. So this is a big one. We recommend you guys to have above a 660 FICO score to avoid the prepayment penalty. Anything below a 660 is gonna, not a prepayment penalty, sorry, prepaid interest. All right. So if you have even a 659, we're gonna have to hit you with a prepaid interest. Now, if you're a real estate investor and you have the capital, you're pretty liquid, you have plenty of experience, and you have a 600, 605, then maybe we could work with you, right? But in other words, if you're below a 600 and you're experienced real estate investor, no funds. If you're in a bankruptcy, right, then unfortunately we won't be able to work that out, right? But we always do any scenario we have. We always talk with the underwriter before we give you a solid no. Number of flips and projects you have completed on title for the past 2 years. This is a very important one, and I'll explain why. Again, zero experience, you'll be considered as a tier 3 investor. So we'll give you tier 3 pricing. It is going to have a higher interest rate. But again, it's a process. And the more flips you do, whether it's with us, cash, or another lender, the better terms you'll get. 1 to 4 flips, tier 2 investor, tier 2 pricing, and 5 plus flips is considered as tier 1. Now, regarding the title, so right now I'm in a deal where an investor told me that he did 30 flips, right? 30 flips in the past 2 years. Now, the only issue was that he was a silent partner, meaning that he JV'd the deal. And if you want to JV a deal, all the documentation, like the JV agreements, has to be done prior to closing your actual acquisition. So there's 2 ways to kind of avoid that, right? So what he did was he told me he had 30 flips. We gave him tier 1 pricing because he had 30 flips. The next, he gave me a call and said, "Hey, Anthony, reality is I JV'd all of the deals. So the entity that I partnered up with, I'm not under, right? We checked the state. He's not under any of those entities. So we had to put him back to tier 3 because he didn't have the JV agreements, or he didn't have any settlement statements showing that net proceeds, not specific, but amount of net proceeds went to his account or his entity, if that makes sense. We're also going to ask, do you need financing on the acquisition, or do you need financing on the acquisition and the rehab? We could do either or, acquisition and rehab, or just the acquisition. Last but not least, available funds. What are we working with? And the reason why I ask is because you got to have enough funds for the down payment, renovations, closing costs, and our fee, origination, plus a doc fee of $14.95. And to answer your question, no appraisal is needed, interest-only payments, no prepayment penalties, and no junk fees. We're very transparent, very straightforward with our investors. So before you guys commit to anything, we give you a pretty solid breakdown of where your money is going, which I'm pretty sure every real estate investor is going to want to see. Again, no appraisal, interest-only payments, no prepayment penalties, and no junk fees.
CLTV that you like?
Max leverage is 85. So we could cover up to, we could cover up to 85% of the purchase and 85% of the rehab. But again, it depends on the deal. You could be a very experienced investor and the deal's out in Banning, you're not going to get 85 just because, you know, the comps, it's in a, kind of in a rural area. There's really not many flips going on there. So you kind of have to push your comp ARV, right? But if it's like in LA, let's just say you find a deal right down the street, we're in Anaheim, and you're an experienced investor, even a newbie, right? If you're a new real estate investor, and you find a very solid deal from a wholesaler real estate agent, and if it makes sense for us, yeah, we can give you max leverage of 85. Any other questions?
Is there like a pre-approval kind of thing, or you need
Yeah.
property to be?
Yeah, so asking for, so that's the other thing we ask for, a property address. Property address will also help us analyze the deal. Now, in terms of the pre-approval, all we ask for is a bank statements. It's not, being in traditional lending, you could understand, we have to go through a DU approval, has to go through, you know, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So it's, we don't do none of that. We honestly look at the bank statements, put it in our system, which is in Excel, which is how we price our loans, and we tell you how much you could qualify for.
Because like sometimes you need to give a cash offer,
Mhm.
and you will need.
Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, so it's sometimes it's urgent, right? So yeah, all we ask for is bank statements. That's all. You know, if we see 600K, I actually did one before I came here. So 600K, I have so many 6, 7, 800K. 600K, easy 1.1, easily. Just because, you know, you do it so many times, you already know how much they're going to qualify for. Any other questions?
You said 85.
Yeah, that's our max leverage.
What's the max after repair or ARV go up to?
Sorry? 70%. Yeah, so we cannot, the loan amount can exceed 70%. So up to 70% of the ARV. Correct, yes. Other questions?
Are you able to raise the additional money through private capital, through other means, or you need skin in the game?
You need skin in the game. I mean, if you're talking about gift funds, yeah, as long as it's
For the
blood
additional
relative.
85,
Yeah.
85.
Yeah, so there's many ways. So we could do gift funds as long as it's through a relative, or if for an entity, right? As long as one of your partners has the money, we're fine. But if you don't have the money at all, gift fund is the best option. Now, if you're a real estate investor, all your money's tied up, but you have real estate, you could always cross-collateralize, right? Any other questions? All right. So the closing process, you know, as mentioned, hence our name, Easy Street Capital. We like to make things as seamless and stress-free as possible. Life is already stressful, so we try to make this as less stress as possible. So our closing process is pretty simple. Application, as I mentioned, borrower approval, show us a proof of funds, bank statements, we give you out the pre-approval within 10, 15 minutes. There's no need to wait 24, 48, a week, whatever it is, right? Under 10, 15 minutes, we'll be able to understand what you qualify for. FICO score, again, we'll look into your credit, make sure you have a clean credit history, clean background, experience, and the easy application. Easy application is what we use to kind of gather all the information in terms of the property address, your experience, and what you're going to do, what exactly you're going to do on that project, right? Whether you're going to demo it, is cosmetic fix, is it a lipstick, you know? Is it a full construction? That's where you could further detail your breakdown and be descriptive about it. The more descriptive you are, the better it'll make us understand what we could do and what we can lend in terms of leverage, right? And the easy app, it could take less than 5 minutes, right? It's not a regular loan application. We don't collect your taxes. We don't collect your pay stubs. 2 most recent pay stubs. We don't collect none of that nature. So bank statements, FICO experience. The deal. This is where after the easy application comes in, I review it. I review the subject property, feasible analysis of the project, and the profitability. Profitability is going to also determine us how much we can lend to you. Loan and terms is presented and agreed to between the borrower and the lender. Right after we get the deal going, application, I sent over the LOI, letter of intent, also known as a loan estimate for those in real estate, and signed. And again, they're gonna have a whole breakdown. We all wanna see where our money goes, so we're gonna have a complete breakdown of where your money is going. Loan documents and deed and trust prepared and sent to escrow. And this is where the whole escrow process begins. You sign the documents, buyer, seller, escrow, title, and lender work through final conditions. You fund, buyer funds the closing funds to escrow. We wire our funds to title. Since we are direct lenders, we manage our own money. We build our own capital on the back end. And then the file closes and funds are distributed to the applicable parties. And all of this could be done in less than 3 days, compared to some other lenders take 2, 3, 4 weeks. Traditional lending, I know that I don't even think you'll be able to do traditional lending unless you do a 3OK loan, which just requires a lot more paperwork and restrictions. And with us, again, the experience, you have the money, you have the FICO, we're good to go. All under 3 days. If everybody's on the same page, right? Everybody has to be on the same page. The faster you give us the documents, the faster we can work. There's times when escrow can catch up to us, or bless you. There's times when real estate agents or the seller isn't even ready sometimes because we're just too fast. But again, it's all a teamwork. We have to be on it. We really have to be on it. Investor has to be on it, including escrow and title. Any questions? No. All right. Yeah, pretty fast. And all of this is going to be very, very simple. And just like our loans, very simple and straightforward. We're very straightforward. If we can't do it, I talk to the underwriters. If the underwriters say yes, we'll do it. If the underwriter says no, unfortunately, we can't do it. Yeah.
You mentioned as far as payments, to get funds, you mentioned cross-collateralization.
Yes.
Other investment properties.
Uh-huh.
Can you touch on a little bit on utilizing
Cross-collateral? Yeah. So as long as it's in the same state with our deals, not our deals, but our restrictions, our guidelines, as long as it has up to 75% LTV, we could use it, right? So if you have like 85, 90%, if you just bought it, we can't use it because there's not enough equity, right? Now, if you have a property free and clear, that's gonna be the first property we're gonna go for, right? Again, I'm here to be transparent with you guys in the banking industry, right? Bankers don't like risk. They all want to shift the risk towards the investor, right? In case of a default, you know what happens there, right? But that's not our intention. Our intention is to make sure that you could get your project funded and for you to make money, right? So it's a solution. If you don't have the money up front, we'll just cross-collateralize, right? And after you pay off the loan, we'll give it back to you. And if not, then unfortunately, again, not our intention at all. It's a solution, but unfortunately, we have to go through that route where we take it over. And that's me being transparent with you guys on how the banking system works. Because again, bankers don't like risk, right? But again, we're here to solve problems and help fund your loan. Did I answer your question? Yeah, okay. Any other questions? All right. Now, will you be funding this loan directly? Of course, we'll be funding it directly. Again, we are direct lenders. We fund our own capital. I can't say how much, but we fund a lot of money. Just last month, our office, we have about 5 LOs. We funded 27 million. And that's our California West branch alone. 27 million, I believe that was about 29 loans. 2022, we funded over $1 billion in volume. And that's just California, right? We still have the other states, except Nevada, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Florida. No, not Florida, New York. What is the difference between a broker and a direct lender? As mentioned, direct lenders, you work with us directly. In terms of a broker is kind of the middleman. They don't have the funds, but they kind of shop around your loan. Exactly. And what's the penalty with that? It's more expensive. Us, we could charge 1.5. If a broker comes to us, hey, can you broker a deal? We want 1 point. Oh, there it goes, 3.5, right? Or 2.5, sorry, 2.5 total points. Again, brokers cannot commit to a loan as they market them out to direct lenders, us, and capture a fee for the service, right? We're the money people. I don't want to say money man because we also have females in the office. So we are the money people. We are the actual bank. And again, their direct lender ultimately will be making the decision. The brokers can make the decision because it has to go through us first. So it's always recommended to go through a direct lender. But if you want to go through a broker, you feel more comfortable, then yeah, go ahead and do so. And as mentioned, best to steer investors to direct lenders since the broker's biggest value add is funding the investor lender, and it's something our agents could do, right? Any real estate agents here? Real estate agents? I know you're a mortgage broker, right? Perfect. So any deals you send to us, we do offer referral fees. It's up to you how much you want to make. We have no cap. So again, if we have an investor, we're already charging 1.5. If you bring us an investor, we're going to charge 1.5 points, for example. And if you want to make a point, cool, we'll give you a point, which could be in a total, it's going to be 2.5 points or 2.5% of the loan amount that could be paid to you directly either through escrow or outside of escrow through a check. It's up to you, but everything through escrow is a lot faster and easier. So referral fees, absolutely, right? We're here to do business. Relationships is a new currency, and the more hands you shake, the more money you make, right? That's why we're here. Any questions? Questions? All right. How fast can you close? As mentioned, we're direct lenders. We make the ultimate decision. We fund our own money as fast as 3 days. There's times when we might take a week, 2 weeks, but if we take that long, it's because either the sellers are not ready or it's just a time frame that the buyer needs, right? Maybe they need a week, maybe they need 2 weeks, right? Next thing, this is where our products begin. So our Easy Fix is our fix and flip loans. We just call it Easy Fix, hence our name. So our standard loan, borrower funded, closed-ended basically means that we cover the purchase price and you come in with the rehab funds. So again, all funds are distributed at closing with no lender holdback in a reserves account. And or any renovation expenses would be covered by 100% of the borrower. So again, if we go through this route, we could cover 85% max of the purchase price, but you just have to show us the funds that you have the money for the rehab, right? So if it's a $60,000 rehab, you got to show us the funds of $60K plus the additional, down payment, additional fees for like closing costs, right?
The 75 or 85% LTV, is that on ARV value or is it on the purchase price?
So 80% LTV, so 20% down. Or no, sorry, 15% down, 80% LTV of the purchase price, right? Of the purchase price, correct. And a minimum of 15% down. Again, as mentioned, borrower covers the renovation. Rates could be from 9.5 to 11.25, depending on the down payment. Renovation, lender funds. Now this is where we cover the acquisition plus the rehab funds. Oh, what happened? There we go. A portion of funds is held in a reserves account used to reimburse a borrower through the renovation expense. So in this case, the way this works is, the borrower will front the expense and then submit a draw request to the lender to reimburse. So our lender funded program or this option works as a reimbursement. So if your purchase price is $500K and let's just say your renovation cost is $60K, right? That $60K is going to be held into a reserves account. And again, that works as a reimbursement, which I'll explain. And you can make draws, as many draws as you want, right, throughout the project. But again, we'll just need invoices and receipts and pictures showing that you're actually doing the work, right? Because us as lenders, us as direct bankers, we want to make sure that you're in progress with the project and that you're putting our money to work, right? Again, minimum 15% down, cover up to 85% of the renovation. And again, rates from 9.9 to 11.25.
The work doesn't need to be done by a licensed contractor.
No, just for the construction loans. They do need to be licensed GCs. Yeah. But for easy fixes, it doesn't. I don't say we don't care, but it doesn't matter, right? As long as it doesn't matter. For our construction loans, again, they do have to be contracted for our construction loans. Cross collateralization, as mentioned, up to 75% LTV of the value of the existing asset, plus up to 85% of the new purchase. So again, you have properties, don't have the cash up front, cool, we could cross collateralize the loan for you to have enough funds to purchase that project. Any questions? Questions, concerns? I'm very straightforward, so I'll give you the yes or no answer, just like I do with my clients. It's like, yeah. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I know a lot of lenders try to sugarcoat things. We're very transparent. What? Doesn't matter. Like no, just like an ITIN, right? Registered ITIN. Yeah. So yeah, you really don't have to be a citizen for us to lend to you. And we actually did this last month. That's why I said yeah. Correct. Exactly. Because that's all we care about. As long as as long as the property qualifies, as long as that there's enough skin in the game for you, because we won't lend money if there's not enough profit margin in the investor's end, right? Any other questions? Yeah.
Make sure, like, what do you look for property qualifying? What do you look for profitability of the deal?
The after repair value is the main factor.
Then you'll do the comps.
Correct. Yeah. So the investor always gives us the comps. I run comps myself, and the underwriter also runs comps themselves. They're the ultimate decision makers, right? So if their ARV comes in lower than us, that's when I'm always on the investor side, right? That's if the underwriter comes to my office, literally, because we run next door to each other. If he knocks my door and says, "Hey, Anthony, we can't reach X amount of ARV," right? I tell him, "Okay, no worries." What I do is I get in contact with the investor and tell them, "Hey, we got to work something out. We got to have a solid comp plan to show that the property is actually worth X amounts," right? So that's what we really look into, the ARV and the loan amount, of course. Yeah. Any other questions?
Do you do the ELOC?
Sorry?
Do you do the ELOC?
So ELOCs are not our specialty. Again, that's me being honest. In terms of ELOCs, we can do home equity line of credit. We could still do traditional mortgages, right? FHA conventional, but I kind of don't. It's not that I don't like doing them. It's just that we don't have the best pricing, and that's again me being transparent. So if I ever get a client that says, "Hey, can you do an FHA?" I tell them I can, right? But the rate isn't going to be good, right? Again, we're here to provide the best service and the best rate, save you guys money. So what I do is I get in contact with the mortgage brokers that I work with or direct lenders, and then refer you out to them. I don't ask for anything. Again, it's all towards your benefit. But if I tell you we can't do nothing, before I tell you I can't do nothing, I look around my relationships that could help you out. Yeah. But yeah, ELOCs we can, but I'd prefer to refer to you to somebody that could give you a better deal. Yeah. Other questions? Yes. The points?
Yeah, I see you didn't mention the.
Oh, like what we charge?
No, the points. Usually
The interest rate?
No, interest I see.
Yeah.
The point.
The points. Yeah. So like our origination fee, like the points we charge. Yeah. So again, 1 to 2% is what we charge. We don't like 1 to 2%. Again, the more deals you do with us, the lower points that we're going to charge, right? Because again, we're both here to make money. We're both here to provide we're doing this because we love it. We provide to our families. I understand that, but again, the more experience you do with us, the better points that you could get. Now, in terms of experience, that really doesn't matter. As long as you show us a successful track record of your successful flips. Yeah, but 1 to 2 points. Other questions? All right. Now, the next thing is, this is how our drawing process works. There's a little bit of confusion with this, with first-time investors. Again, this works as a reimbursement. you have a reserves account in escrow with us, not in escrow with us, because again we handle all the money. We handle all the money. You don't have to go through a broker. You work directly with us. So we have an app. It's called TruePick. This is an app that was developed by Easy Street Capital, so we know it's fast because we created it. Yeah, I mean, again, all we're gonna ask for is for you to download the picture. Let's just say you already did a flip, right? And you're ready to pay the contractor, right? Let's just say the contractor says, hey, I'm ready to pay my workers. So what you do is you get in contact with our drawing team at draws@easystreetcap.com. We have a specific department for this, right? There's specific departments in the company so that everybody could save time, right? Again, I focus on the loans. We have our processors, we have our underwriters, we have our drawing team, we have a DSCR team that prices out our loans. Well, for this specifically, you contact our draws team. All they're gonna ask for you to do is download the TruePick app that we created, make an account, put up the photos of your progress, and lastly, you just have to have an invoice or a receipt and upload that up here so that we can reimburse you back of how much you spent.
So is that like milestones?
I'm not familiar with milestones. No.
No, really milestones in regards
Oh,
to
I thought you meant the app.
how does the draw work?
Correct. Yeah. How does it work? So you complete your project, right? You go through your project, right? Again, we only do the draws as we see progression. So for example, if let's just say you put in $33,000 in the property now, right? You show us pictures that you made that progress in the flip, right? And then you send us an invoice of what you spent. So that's when we go ahead and reimburse you, just like this. This is an example.
So it's based on dollar amount.
Correct. It's based on dollar amount. You don't have to use everything, right? You don't have to use everything that we lend you, right? 60K, you only use 40K, cool. Like, you don't have to use everything. Just use whatever is necessary. But this is an example of what a general contractor receipt breaks it down. Total is $33,000. Again, you show us pictures of all of this that you made progress in the project, and then reimburse you within 1 or 2 days. You could do it in person, but that's just going to take longer, probably 3 to 4 days compared to 1 or 2 days, right? Any other questions? I don't know if you guys want to take a picture of this. All right. So DSCRs, again, be honest with you, I am not a DSCR expert, right? Again, my focus is fix and flip loans, but we do have a department that focuses specifically on DSCR. It's our DSCR department, which I gather all of the information, such as the address, if it's going to be a short-term rent, Airbnb, monthly Airbnb income, the monthly income if it's going to be on a 12-month lease, monthly HOA, monthly insurance, taxes, estimated value of the property as is, existing loan if you're going to refinance. The property was purchased. If you're looking to purchase property, don't worry, there's no issue with that as well, and your FICO score. So again, these are the questions we're going to ask for DSCR loan. Again, under 5 minutes, you give me all that info. I send it out to the DSCR team, and they'll get back to me with an estimate or a loan term sheet under 24, 48 hours. And yeah, rental loans, 30 years, debt service coverage ratio at DSCR. Now these rates are going to be between 7.5% and 9.5%. We can do up to 75% LTV, and we also have interest-only options, 5 and 10 years. Questions? And those for the, I know somebody mentioned that they're into Airbnbs and want to just purchase properties to convert them into Airbnbs. So in terms of qualifying for Airbnbs, we do use AirDNA. If you're a real estate investor that has a pretty hefty portfolio of Airbnbs, then we could do up to 100% of what AirDNA is giving us of the market rents, right? Now, if you're fairly new to Airbnb, then we use up to 75% of what AirDNA is giving us as a monthly estimate that you're getting per month. Questions, concerns? Yes.
Except the interest rate, do you have any other expense like financial charge or something?
No. So it's just the interest rate. Again, interest rate, this is going to go through Easy Street Capital through our DSCR department. That's out in Austin, Texas, which is where our headquarters is at. So yeah, it's just 7.5%, 9.5% origination fee, loan doc fee, and that's it. Yeah, and escrow and title fees, of course. But again, depends who you use. Alrighty. Consumer protection. Business purpose loans offer very little consumer protection. You know, we're not as strict as Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac government loans, where again, we have to check your taxes, your pay stubs, none of that. So a lot of bait and switches can happen, just like today. We told you that Nick was coming and I came. So there's a bait and switch there. And that's where you guys are supposed to laugh. But lenders can change terms anytime. This usually happens with brokers, right? Usually happens with brokers. Now, when you work with us, whatever the loan term sheet says is more than likely not going to change. If it changes, then I'm gonna have to talk with the underwriter. To be completely honest with you, I go into the office and ask him, why did it change? It shouldn't change, right? But out of 10 times, like, it wouldn't change, honestly. There's no reason, unless you gave us false documentation and we found out, right? Or just like the deal I'm in. The investor told me that he had 30 flips, not on title, right? Next day he calls me, he's like, yeah, these properties are not on title under me. So we gave him worse pricing, right? So he went from a 10 and a quarter to a 10.75 because he couldn't prove that he was part of those deals, right? Cancellations or delays, the lender can cancel even after docs are signed, or they can delay at their discretion. Just like Civic, Civic, they did up to 90% LTV. They went out of business, they're not lending anymore, right? But cancellations, that usually never happens with us. We have more than enough funds to lend, and there's no reason for us to cancel, right? If we're canceling, it's because something went up with the investor, something went up with the buyer, right? Maybe we came across a challenge where the investor doesn't have enough funds, and we weren't able to kind of gather those funds together to fund the loan. Alrighty. Misconceptions we get. So, hard money loans are too expensive and I won't make much money. So the loan cost is unlikely to exceed the expected return and making it beneficial, right? So again, we won't lend you any money if there's not enough skin in the game, right? And is it expensive? Yes, it's expensive. It is for business purposes only. But we also have to understand that the qualification process is a lot more stressful, a lot more seamless, right? Experience, FICO, bank statements, and where your project is going to be, and location in that case. So I don't trust hard money lenders. They can change terms anytime before closing. Now with us, that's typically with brokers. Again, you work with us, we'll give you what we call, just straight up terms. If it changes, we have a discussion with the underwriters. Number 3 is I can't use a loan because the property won't appraise, or I can't get access for an appraisal. We don't require any appraisals, so that's going to save you money. How much are appraisals going for? $600, $700? So $600, $700, right, that you're saving a lot more time, because I know that when you schedule an appraiser, you schedule it, you have to wait until somebody picks it up, and you have to wait until they schedule the actual appraisal. In addition to that, they still have to give you the report, right, which is about a week and a half process. And with us, again, no appraisal whatsoever. We do our own due diligence. So in that case, we're kind of taking a risk ourselves, right? Alrighty. Other misconceptions. There's no time for a loan. Again, we have a competitor that's can do up to 90% LTV, but they're not going to close as fast as us, right? They could take 14, 20 days, which is how long a traditional loan takes. So we typically have a lot of investors that come from another direct lender or a broker and says, hey, this deal is very time sensitive. We have to close in less than a week or in a week and a half. We tell them, no problem, just give us all the documentation, property address, bank statements, FICO, and then we could fund it. We could fund as little as 48 hours, but again, everybody has to be on the same page, right? I'm going to close cash on this one, and then I'll do 15 down on the next. So honestly, why put all eggs in the basket when you could potentially buy 2, 3, 4 projects, right? Why are you just gonna use all cash just on one project and focus on that one project when you could leverage off the bank and buy more? And lastly, the application process takes too long. As mentioned, our easy application takes less than 5 minutes to fill out. We do our due diligence, provide you with term sheets in less than 48 hours. I've seen it, most of my term sheets came in as little as 5 hours. So, and I keep you updated throughout the whole process, right? Once I get the application, once I send it out to the underwriters, and of course, once I get the loan estimates or the term sheet. Questions? And if I don't know them, I'll honestly call the underwriter. Got a question? No? Okay. So our next program, our last program is the Easy Build Ground Up Construction Lending. I know you're a contractor, and again, I'm trying to focus on contractors as well because there are contractors that are doing flip. We had this conversation that there's a lot of contractors doing flips for other real estate investors, right? So why not the contractor do it for themselves? They're already licensed. They know how the whole process works in terms of constructing, so just why not, right? So these are our terms for it. We could do as little as $75K up to $2 million. There's no prepayment penalties, 9 to 12-month terms. You can extend it, but again, there are going to be some penalties, right? Depending on the loan amount. So if that varies. Again, discounted pricing for repeat buyers. You must have experience. And the reason why you must have experience is because ground up constructions are not for newbies. And that's me being honest, right? It's just a lot of risk to you, the investor, to us, to lend. And I always ask the investor that's new and wants to do construction, if you're the bank, would you lend somebody with no experience to build a house that has no successful track record whatsoever of buying the land, constructing a house from the ground up and selling it, right? So for these, we could 2 points. That's where it starts. We could do up to 80% of the total cost, meaning you come in as little as 20% down for the ground up constructions. And these are non-Dutch interest. Non-Dutch interest, believe me, when I first heard non-Dutch interest, when I began the business, it was a foreign language to me. But what non-Dutch interest is interest only charged on the funds given through the project. So you're not charged up front of the rehab funds. You're only charged of what you actually utilize. So in this example, if you have a construction cost of $775K and you only use $400K, cool. The interest rate is only charged on the $400K that you used, not the $775. And this can finance on construction only. That's an error. I don't know who did that, but we can finance on the acquisition and the construction. So if you find a deal, if it's the land, you got to purchase the land and do a construction loan on it. We just cannot finance on the land, right? So if you're planning to buy a land and hold it, unfortunately, we can't do that. You must do the acquisition plus the construction. Provide us with plans, provide us with a GC bid, and permits. We don't need permits. So GC bid and plans. That's all we need.
That's skin in the game.
Correct. So if you already own the land, if you already own the land, you just give us a property address, your plans, your estimated budget. We analyze the deal and tell you we could do it. More than likely we can, as long as it's not like in let's just say Banning, You know, like if it's in LA, then absolutely. I know it's gonna be expensive, but we'll be able to work something out.
How long, when you say experience required, how many years?
2 years of experience, at least two ground up, right? Um, Not ground up, sorry. At least fix and flip. Fix and flips will help. But we'd like to see you doing at least one construction loan, right? Or a lot of flipping experience. Because of course it's first flipping and then going on to the big leagues doing construction. Because construction loans are for the big leagues. It's not easy. There's a lot to go through with construction loans. Questions? Questions? All right.
Yeah, I got one.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So, if I have a plan, do they have to be already permit issued, or can they be like preliminary plans?
They could be preliminary plans, you know. I've never had an issue where we had to wait, and because I know that it takes a long time to get permits, right? Especially for LA and Orange County, it takes months, and they're not very friendly with us. So preliminary plans would be fine. Yeah. And with this, you must have a licensed contractor. You must. Again, a lot of risk. We want to make sure that the contractors know exactly what they're doing. Other questions? Questions? All right. So here's an example. Land purchase is $405K. Let's just say, hey, Anthony, I got a deal. It's a land purchase. It's a new upcoming city. Let's just say it's like, what's a new upcoming city? Ontario Ranch. It's a huge development. It's Ontario, but a little bit closer to Chino. So you're like, hey, Anthony, I got a deal. Land purchase is 405. The construction costs, my budget is about 75. I already had the preliminary plans with the contractor. He gave me the scope of work, and this is how much it's gonna cost, 775. Cool. Your total cost is gonna be 1.8 million. Again, with our terms, we could go up to 20% down, loan amount. So 20% of 1.18 mil is 236, right? And we use that 20% of the total cost and use it out and you put that towards the purchase price. And again, the loan proceeds to the purchase is 169. If we do the simple math, purchase price of 405 minus 236 of borrower contribution 20% will give us 169, right? And yeah, percent of construction covered by 100%, up to 100%. Questions on this? And again, if you have any scenarios, I can honestly do that in 5-10 minutes through a call, email, or text. And yeah, whether it's with construction or fix and flip loans, you could always give me a call. Yeah, I got a deal. This is what it looks like, right? And I'll give you the yes or no. Yeah, that's about it. Any questions? Construction loans, flips. All right. So the summary: hard money loans are not the commodity product that a home loan is. Investors need to be extremely aware of who their lender is, right? It's up to you to do your own due diligence. I'm not telling you to use us. Is there a better hard money lender than us? Maybe. It'd be hard for me to believe, but maybe they're giving you better terms. Maybe they'll end like Civic, giving you too much leverage, 90%. And I'm just talking a lot of trash about Civic because we have 2 LOs come from Civic to us. And yeah, that's about it. Lender can be the difference from getting the deal or not. I'm very straightforward with you. If you're blunt with me, I'll be blunt with you, right? If you're friendly with me, I'll be friendly with you, right? Any other questions, concerns? Because that's the end of the slide.
All right, let's give him a round of applause, Anthony. And I do have to say, it was really easy when I used them on one of my deals. I think it took about 4 days for me, because we had to let my personal money send it to my business LLC, so I can buy it under my LLC. They saw the statements, they saw the money in my personal bank. I told them I was going to send it to my LLC. It was very, very easy. The numbers sound complicated to somebody who's new, so don't be afraid when you see these numbers. At the end of the day, I want to see how much money I'm going to make. That's it, right? So for me, is as I'm doing the deal, am I making 30,000, 40,000? That's what's important to me, because they have to make money. And for me, I want to be looking at the next deal, not focusing on this deal, right? So once I get under contract and we're ready to go, they come on board, make it really easy for me. So I'm just saying my experience. Also, if you guys want to see the presentation again, we have it on Facebook and YouTube. So it's live right now. You guys can always go back, listen to it, and just look for the Gutierrez group. Somebody has a business card, and you'll be able to find every single presentation we've done on our YouTube. Okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Again, I'm not a dictionary. I'm not gonna have every answer, right? I like to be the dumbest one in the room, so I always like learning. So if I don't know the answer, again, I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer. Let me go ahead and verify with my underwriters, because I don't want to give you false information, go into escrow and say, hey, you said this, right? So I always confirm with the underwriters before saying a no.
Perfect, guys. So now you guys can spend the time networking with each other, and maybe you guys can come up with a deal. All right? Thank you again.